Hi and welcome back to my film and TV channel. Hope you're all staying safe and well, and we've got a little horror today. It's the month of October, so a few more supernatural horror films appearing than normal, but yeah, a bit of a special one, this one. We're going to have a look at something that many of you will know or heard of a long time ago, back in the late 80s, but this is the latest reboot of it. We're going to have a look at Hellraiser, of course. Please, if you are new to the channel, push that subscribe up, push the bell notification. I try and inform and entertain if I can and tell you all about these. Yeah, the original was one of my favourites back in the day, in the late 80s, I must admit. So we're going to do that. We're going to have a look at that. So if you push that subscribe on, push the bell notifications. Let me know what you think. That's even more important. Let me know what you think of this new reboot or the original. Doesn't matter, whatever it is. And please, you can leave all your comments. And give us a thumbs up, guys. Great to get views and etc. But give us a thumbs up. Make an old film and TV watcher very happy on this. Vlogs I do movie reviews, TV drama reviews, information vlogs, lots of different things. It'd be great to have you on board. Yes, it's an 18 certificate, Hellraiser, as you'd expect, or an R certificate if you're in the US. 121 minutes, so yeah, just over 2 hours. Yeah, a bit of a struggle for me for 2 hours, I'll be fair with you. I mean, I can understand why, to a sort of big reboot like this, they want to make a big thing with it. But sometimes less is more, and I think that might have been the case with this one. It's a supernatural horror film directed by David Bruckner, screenplay by Ben Collins and Luke Piotrowski, from a screen story they co-wrote with David S. Goyer. And it's second adaptation of the 1986 novel. Yeah, so the film actually didn't come out that long after the novella, The Hellbound Heart by Clive Barker, of course, which served as a basis for his 1987 film Hellraiser. Reboot of the titular franchise, I like that. And the 11th instalment, yes, we've had some rubbishy ones, haven't we? Let's be honest about it. It was released as a Hulu original film on October the 7th. So all these comments and scores as 9th of October when I've been round and watched it at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. So let's see what people are thinking. Well, about the audience, forget the critics for now. We'll get onto them in a minute. The audience, Rotten Tomatoes audience, 64% positivity. That's fine. 3.5 out of 5, averaging 7 out of 10. We'll take that. Internet Movie Database, yeah, 6.3 out of 10. Again, the original is only getting about 6.9. So not too far down on it, considering, and that's over 8,400 reviews have been left. If you look, delve deeper into that, 5,352 people scored it between 6 and 9, and 1,885 people scored it between 2 and 5. So it comes out with a 74% positivity. So again, not too bad. The public seem to be generally favourable. What's the story? Well, it's a take, of course, on Clive Barker's 1987 horror classic where a young woman struggling with addiction comes into possession of an ancient puzzle box, unaware that its purpose is to summon the Cenobites, a group of sadistic supernatural beings from another dimension, the Swine. Yes, it stars amongst others Odessa Azion, Jamie Clayton, Adam Face, and Drew Starkey and Brandon Flynn. Right, we've seen what the public think. They're fairly positive. What about the critics? Well, they're not too bad. Rotten Tomatoes, 69% positivity, and that's 97 critics, so there's a lot of critics. An average rating of 6.3 out of 10, so not too much different to the public. And it scores 67 fresh reviews and just 30 rotten. The consensus reads, a gift for long-suffering fans. After numerous subpar sequels, David Bruckner's Hellraiser unlocks a puzzle box for getting this franchise back on the right track. Well, it all could go downhill again, couldn't it? Metacritic uses an average as well. They give it 56 out of 100, so not as good, not as popular. That's based on just 22 critics, and it is scored as low as 12 out of 100 and 85 out of 100. Let's name and shame or name and blame the critics. Benjamin Lee of The Guardian had this to say: what Bruckner does justify is the sheer existence of his remake, an extremely hard thing to do with enough visual verve and stomach-turning sadism to satiate the Halloween crowd. Quite right. Frank Scheck from Hollywood Reporter: fans will be relieved to know that this Hellraiser definitely doesn't skimp on the gore. It doesn't, providing enough viscera and flayed skin to satisfy the most bloodthirsty viewers. It certainly does. Noel Murray from the LA Times, not as overly enthused. There's something lacking, he said, for all the flayed flesh and impaled skin in this picture. This Hellraiser isn't sharp enough. See what he did there? Movie Nation, Roger Moore, yeah, he's one of the guys we feature a lot. He didn't like it either. He said there's not enough that's new to merit raising this corner of hell all over again. Okay, a bit more on that in my little comments at the end. This has been the case on a number of recent remakes, of course, as far as I can see. Even if you go back to sort of not as dark, obviously, but things like Ghostbuster, Halloween. I mean, they've been good. They've been good remakes, but or let's say adequate. I think that's the word I'll use for it. But there is something a little bit missing. Trying to pay homage to the original, but try and be something different as well. It's never quite worked with a lot of these updated remakes. Matt Donato, he's from IGN. He said he liked it. He said Hellraiser is a reinvigorated reboot that gets the blood pumping, starting with Jamie Clayton's worthy Pinhead performance that sets a fresh tone with immense reverence paid to Clive Barker's work. Yeah, I mean the Pinhead guys are pretty good, in all fairness. Right, my little score for this one. I am going to give it a watchable score because I thought it was watchable. If long, a bit long, which for me I might have scored it slightly higher if it hadn't been as long, but I think the score probably says for itself. I'm just going to give it the basic watchable score of 6 out of 10. I wasn't blown away. I mean, for those new to the Barker adaptations, or the younger horror watcher, if you like, who might not have gone back and watched some of the originals, or certainly the original film from 1987, then it's a pretty worthwhile effort. It does play due homage to that original one. Which itself, as I said, it got a 6.9 on Internet Movie Database, but it wasn't universally loved. I liked it at the time. I remember I was a keen, obviously, as you'd appreciate, I was a keen film watcher. It was a little bit before I got my video shop in the mid 90s, but I'm sure we still had the VHS on the shelf when I got my video shop. I'm sure we had one or two copies in the shop I took over in the mid 90s. But for me, this was an okay reboot. My kids liked it as well. They used to love horror films when they were kids, and yeah, it's one of the ones they liked. But it's an okay reboot, and that's all I can say. Really, I wasn't totally blown away by it. Yes, the positive thing is it's much better than a lot of the numerous follow-ons we've had, but that's not hard to do, is it? Adequate, a bit too long for me. It does become a little repetitive with some of the body flaying and blood and gore. But 90 minutes, I think it would have been a better watch. But 2 hours, it just drew a little bit too long for me. But it's October, it's the right time of the year, and this is a welcome and bloody, if not spectacular, addition for the Halloween season. Let me know what you think, guys, if you get to watch this. Thanks for watching. Please, until we meet again, I ask one thing, don't I? Please stay safe. Keep away from these pinheads and these little cubes that you can play around with. Be very, very careful. Yeah, I mean, there might be hidden Rubik's cubes, might you? You know, a Rubik cube from hell, this thing, isn't it? Let's be honest about it. Stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.